the opposite direction of his brothers, looking for some fun. And I thought that was strong, and I thought that was ambitious, and, you know, I thought he was, what's the word I'm looking for, brave. I thought he might be a champion. I thought he might be intelligent. I went to go get him, and he was running so quickly away from me that I didn't get a chance to get him. And this car was coming off the side of the road. Nigel! Nigel! Come here. Oh, there he comes. You gotta see his face. It's precious. You gotta see his face. Nigel, sit. Nigel, sit. Nigel. Nigel, sit. Nigel, sit. Nigel. Nigel, sit. Down, Nigel. Good boy sitting. Good boy sitting. You have to see this baby's face. It is the most precious thing in the world. Anyway, so I was, you know, playing around with these puppies, and this car came, and so the owner was, you know, all the babies started running all over the place, and they all had the most precious little faces, and so tiny. And I said, you know, okay, we got to get them all. And there was Nigel running in the other direction, and I tried to get him, I couldn't. And the owner got 3 of them, and I finally picked up the Nigel. And the Nigel was in my arms, and he was the first one I was holding close to my chest. I couldn't let him go because he was so soft, and he smelled like a baby and everything. I mean, his belly was... Let me show you this guy's belly, okay? If you just want to see the belly, just please look at the belly. Look at this belly, and you can't tell me that you would fall in love with it. So then I said to her, she said, what do you want? And I told her I want a running dog. And I was still holding Nigel the whole time. And I said, I want a running dog, you know, a dog that, you know, I can, I'm a runner and I want to run a lot, and he's biting right now, but only for the sake of the camera. I'm not going to let him very long. And, don't bite, no! And, so, anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so then anyways, so I'm holding him, and he's really, really close to me, you know, and I told her, I was like, you know, I want the smallest puppy in the litter, because even though I want a male, I don't want him to be bigger and stronger than I am. And I'm about 100, you know, 100 pounds, so I'm like, okay, I don't want this dog to be able to, you know, take me for a walk, put me on a leash. And so, she said, okay, look at the paws, you know, and see which one. And, you know, they all had about the same size paws. Nigel didn't have any, you know, bigger paws than any of them. Then he said, well, you know, then you can also look at their, you know, what kind of appetite they have, but, you know, you really haven't seen it. But I was holding this Nigel, and I flipped him over to see his belly. Look at that side, look at that belly. And versus the other puppy's bellies. And she said, yeah, I just fed him. And this little stinker's belly, this little guy's belly, was the biggest of the bunch. So I thought, maybe he's got worms, or maybe he's got bloating, which is very, very common in Weimar, you know, bloating. But you know what? He didn't have bloatings. And he doesn't have worms. He dewormed the little stinker. And you know what that means? He's got the biggest appetite. So here I was wanting the smallest dog, and this little stinker made me fall in love with him, and he was the biggest eater of the bunch, meaning he's going to be the biggest in the litter, and he's the smartest one, and he's definitely the funniest one. I mean, I don't think there could be a funnier, smarter, happier little guy. And he is very well disciplined so far. He's potty trained like a good boy, and he likes to do things that, you know, good, smart puppies like to do, like obey me and bounce around and be stupid. Anyway, so, you know, I looked and looked, and then she said, well, you know, you might want to look at the faces. So I looked at the faces, and guess whose face was the cutest? I'm not joking. I didn't even know it was him. I put them all 4 down, you know, and at that point, I couldn't really tell the difference between them. And, you know, I was calling him the, you know, the big belly one. And I was looking at him, and then I said, I like this little puppy's face. And I picked him up, and sure enough, it was the big belly Nigie that I liked the face the best. And I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the biggest bellied one. She said, yeah, that's the one you were holding before. And I said, okay, well, still, I don't want the biggest dog in the litter. He's going to be a handful. So let me go ahead and look at other things. And so I was looking at head shape and size and all of that. You know, she's telling me about the different head shapes. And where did he go? And there were some ones with a pointy head. And I really liked the box head. So, you know, I looked again. And sure enough, this little stinker has that box head. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Who can resist this? Hi, Nigel. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Did you take the ball? I didn't take the ball, huh? Look at Nigel. Okay, so then he's got the whole world. Nigel, look. So he's going to go running after that world. Let's see what he does with it. Let's see if he can pick it up. I'm not sure if this guy can pick it up yet. What do you have there, Nigel? What is that, Nigel? Is that your ball? Is it your ball, Nigel? He's getting bored with the ball. Oh, he got bored with the ball. Got bored with the ball. Now he's going up for the shade. And yesterday he played like a baby in a crib. He flipped over on his back and he was playing like as if he was talking to some imaginary person out there, laughing and barking to himself. And I was like, who are you, little Nigel? You are like a human puppy. Anyways, so long story short, for the short part, I realized that this little guy, okay, this little guy had the key to my heart and to my future, and he was going to protect me and love me better than all the others. I was going to protect him and love him. So I said, okay, look at him, look at him, look at him. Okay, baby, sit, Nigel. He's going to learn to sit. And so then I decided that, yes, this is the one for me. And I put him in his little crate, and he was crying the whole way home. But then he felt it when he puked up his puppy food, and I saw that his tummy shrunk when he puked it up. I realized it wasn't his worms or his bloating, you know, really. She was right. It wasn't worms or bloating, parasites. Not that he didn't have any, I'm sure he had some, but that little guy's tummy was due to his appetite. And appetite when he's a baby means he's happy because he wants to be big and strong. It's a good thing. Right, baby? And he's going to be the biggest champion, runner, obedient, smart puppy, and he is going to be well trained. But you know, to be well trained, you got to be completely free. Hiya, baby. So the last thing, I took him home, and then he slept, and he's in the closet right now in the apartment, and that's his little, you know, cubby hole. Right now, that's his little crate area, or whatever it's called, yeah, the crate area. Sit, puppy, sit. That's the bottle. Hiya, baby. Nigel. You see him. Today is August 7th, or August 12th.
Michael.
How long do you think you'll be with us?
I was thinking like forever. You cannot stay here.
You can't just throw him out the snow.
He knows this. No, he's told me 15 times.
Nigel!
Son of a nutcracker. Will you take him?
Nigies! God, he's probably peeing somewhere. Look at this disaster. This is what the dogs have done to those poor. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. As you can see, Nigies growing. His torso is almost longer than Oscar now. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. Hiya. He's learned pretty much how to about that. And since Mom is on vacation, Oscar and him have had plenty of bonding time. He still likes to pick up random things like my shoe and chew on them incessantly. But other than that, and he can't control his wee-wees yet. But overall, I think he's growing pretty nicely. Hi, Oscars. There's Oski. You know Oski. Hi, Osku. What you doing, Oski? They like each other. Nigel, hush. Don't bark so much. Nigel, hush. I think they love each other. What do you think? Nigel, don't bark so much. Nigel, hush. Nigel. Shh. Nigel, hush. Okay, I gotta train him not to bark so much. I think he thinks he's a chihuahua. We start our coverage, Rice University campus, on the grassy knolls in front of Lovett Hall. Today our exploration takes us upon two very specific creatures, both of the species canine. They are of the same species. One is the Nigel, 7-week-old Weimaraner. See spot next to him, none other than the infamous Oscar, 7 years old, rat terrier / Chihuahua mutt, who thinks he can run down a big bus and van as we saw just moments ago. Let's listen in on our guest. The lads have found a pond in which to drink their parched tongues generously. Good. Slowly, slowly, Nigel. Yes, he is. Aren't you scared? Get him, Oscar. And there's my dum-dum. Hello, Maine. Hey, Maine. He's an illegal immigrant. He has no papers. Maine, where are your papers, Maine? Are you from the border? Where are your papers? He's a Chihuahua mutt. He's not even a full head. And he's got no papers. Oscar! But he knows his name. This is Nigel's little room. Hiya, Mr. Nigel. This is actually my closet, but it's Nigel's den also. Nigel, what did I tell you about eating clothes? Nigel? For some reason, he really likes pulling on things. He's still teething. Nigel, what do you got there, Nigies? Is that my sweater that you're chewing on? Is that my sweater? Nigies? No, Nigies. Don't kill the sweater. That's not real. That's not a real rabbit. I don't know. He likes that thing. Nigies. Hiya, Mr. Nigel. He's drinking his water. Hiya, Mr. Nigel. And now he's going back to sleep. Because that's what he does all day. That's what he does all day. He sleeps all day. That's what he does. Isn't that what you do? Say, I sleep all day. And I just poop and I sleep and I poop and I sleep and I poop and I sleep. Right, Mommy? And I find good things to chew on, like the wall. Right, Mr. Nigies? But he is potty trained. But what happened today? Okay, 3 days ago, I saw the most disgusting thing in my life. I was cleaning out his little bottom, you know, with alcohol because, you know, he poops a lot and he was getting chafed. And I see this disgusting little white thing coming out, so I pull it out. It's a nasty intestinal flatworm, parasitic disgustor, and I had to kill it. And it is like, it looked like a maggot, pretty much, except it was big and flat and white. Anyway, he pooped this morning, and I looked inside his poop, and they're all over his poop. So the dewormer is actually working, but it makes me sad to know that the reason that, you know, his tummy was big when I got him was not because he had a good appetite like the, you know, breeder had told me, or the lady, his owner had told me, but in fact he had intestinal worms. And, you know, I asked her that. I asked her why. And she told me, oh, he had just had his. So that makes me disgusted to know that, you know, I had a dog that had such intestinal worms, and I know a lot of dogs get them. I mean, his were really bad because his tummy was really bad. And if that's the reason, it's just disgusting to me, you know? It's just disgusting to me. I was really grossed out to see those worms coming out of his butt because, you know, he has a lot more, and if they can slide out of his butt like that, then maybe they can live in, like, the carpet or whatever, which really makes me want to throw up. And the fact that he likes to eat anything, he means he might eat his poop at some point, which means that it's really, really unhygienic and disgusting, and, I don't know, I just don't like it, because he could die from eating that stuff. And then he's flopsy, floppy ears. There goes the kangaroo ears. Doesn't he look like Dumbo? Dumbo! The flying elephant. The flying wimey. Which, I think he's stuck. God. What's going on there? Did you get stuck? Yes, got stuck. Nigel, you're not as smart as you think you are, huh? Hi, Mr. Nigies. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. There he goes at it again like a dumb dog. Doesn't learn his lessons. Mr. Nigies. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. Hi! Just to give you an idea of how tiny this puppy is, this is my hand, and it's fitting over his whole face. He still has his milk breath from his mama. Let's see Nigel's little tummy. I want to see the tummy. You guys see the tummy? See? Look at that little chest. Look at that little chest. Look at that little chest. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. You gotta see him in action to really know how cussy he is. Yeah. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. Look at the ears go up. I love it. Hi, Mr. Nigies, can I fix your hair? Oh, la la. Oh, la la. Let me fix the hair. Oh, I like it when it flips up like that. Okay, you gotta see him with his ear flipped up. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. Doesn't he look cute like that? I like him when he's doing this. He's baby. Hi, Mr. Nigies. He does that like a baby and it flips on his back. And he's chewing on something. Balls. Hi, Mr. Nigies. Can I say hello to Mr. Nigies? Hi, the baby. He is really like a newborn baby. Teething and everything. Sucking on his bottle, sucking on his thumb. What are you doing, Mr. Nigies? Okay, I gotta play with him. Being too cozy right now. You join us in the halls, the faraway land, Fronting Fort. On the third floor, as we find two alpha males battling it out for the rights to the dog wicket and to the woman to be their mother. They want the woman. As the baby emerges, he sees the prey, and he attacks oh so very slowly. The prey, however, is not prey at all, but a very mature alpha male. Well, okay, scratch the very mature part, but happens to be a very, very strong, dominant alpha male. So that's Nigel. He walks to the front and look at you. It's so cute what he's doing. He thinks he's like a fox. You gotta see him from the front when he does it. It's so cute how little baby does it. Oscar's like all hyper, complete as the red dog. Brown dog is the tan dog. Around. He's much more active and hyper. As Nigel walks, he's much more stealthy, quiet, reserved. He's got a brain. He's intelligent. And he uses it. You should have seen the worms he's pooping out. This is the highlight of my day, and it's very disgusting. But it's the highlight of his. Hiya, Mr. Nigies. Anyway, I saw these intestinal worms. They're these nasty white things. Yesterday, days ago, I picked one out. His butt, I thought it was like a little piece of paper or something, a tiny little piece. It looked like a little tiny white piece of paper, slither paper. So I pulled it out, and it's actually a flat worm, and it's nasty. It's like a little, it's a square, and it's sitting there moving along, and I was so grossed out, I killed it. But then I looked for him in his poop, and you know how they have them when they're babies. He's gotten his little dewormer, and I'm like looking at his poop, and they are covered around all of the poop as it comes out, like it's on the intestinal walls, and I just want to give him an enema, you know, and clean it all out in there. He's actually running slower. Hi, baby. Get the little fox.